My name is Larry. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as from Lawon, Colombo, Africa. The season break is almost over. We have less than 2 weeks to get back to racing. So from today, we have 10 days to get back to racing. And seriously, like I said, there will be great things coming in the second part of the season. There will be prizes to be won. And we want more sponsors. We want promotions to keep us going. For those of you that are on Instagram, Facebook, following us, please follow us on YouTube. Get the great content. Go and watch some past videos because some questions might be coming from there. And you would love it. In today's video, we'll be talking about the Mercedes upgrade and the Mercedes engine, the Red Bull upgrade and the Red Bull powertrains, the Mercedes cars from 2020 to 2023. I will be talking about the F1 on US market, and we'll also be talking about economic value for F1. So let's get it on. Now, the Mercedes upgrade. I need to be sincere about the last upgrade of Mercedes. We've not really spoken about it. The upgrade that came in Monaco, there was a video I spoke about it, but we've not dropped the video. But majorly, the new upgrade they brought was a more development of the upgrade they brought in Monaco. That is the new concept they have gone into. Some people call it the W14B, but I call it the W14 new look because Mercedes have not agreed that they went wrong. The upgrade they brought came in Hungary. So the last upgrade Mercedes brought, we've not really seen it to its full effect. Because I've seen it to its full effect in Belgium, but because of the rain, go away, come again another day, all the teams want to play, we could not really see how the upgrade would have performed, and we could not really see how they would have been able to maximize or tune up the upgrade to get the best out of the upgrade. So certainly there are some part of the upgrades that we've not really seen, and Mercedes have promised that they will bring one more batch of the upgrade because normally most teams move into the next year car from August. So they're trying to move into the next year car in which they are looking into more development, but the major development into next year car for Mercedes will be from what they have learned this year, because that will be their learning curve. If they just jump into a new car without looking at their data and what they've really learned, they are going to come out with another failing car. So that upgrade has not really been seen to its full potential. They've not tuned it. So we hope in Netherlands, in which is another creepy track, we hope we'll be able to see that upgrade. But to its full potential, I'm not sure we'll be able to see the upgrade to its full potential in Netherlands because it has a lot of fast flowing corners, and there's some parts of the track that is a little bit tilted, some part of the track to the right about 60 degrees, and some part at about something degrees in variance on the track. So they may not be able to get the best out of it. If you remember in Belgium, the low down speed DRS wing on Lewis Hamilton's car, while the high downforce wing on George Russell's car, because they are really not getting to know what they should really use and what they should not use. So it was really a battle for them to know what to use, but certainly they were not really up to it. But on their engine, you can see the Mercedes engine, the cars wearing the engine called Mercedes have been performing. We'll start with the Aston Martin that really performed at the beginning of the year. They really gave, as in you would know that that car is off the hook. They had a good design, but for those that are confused, your engine is just your engine. The aerodynamics gives you the optimum performance, although you need to have a very good engine, in which is the challenge the Alpine team is having. I think they are going to bring Binotto in as their new team principal and employ some Ferrari hands to get the team running, but it's still creepy. We don't know yet, but immediately we get that information, we'll let you know. But like I said, Otmar Snapner is gone and his assistant, that's the technical director. So it is going to be a new road for them. But back to the engine of Mercedes, all the cars wearing the Mercedes engine have been performing excellently this year, which means the engine is very reliable. Normally we know Mercedes engine have been reliable all through the years. Now, what are the strengths of the engine? What are the weakness of that engine? The strength of that engine is you can demand more with your aerodynamics, but the weakness is you can't overcompensate, you can't over demand. We can remember there was a race in which George Russell over demanded and the engine caught fire. It happens in F1. A lot of Red Bull engines have caught fire over the years. Ferrari engines catches fire simply. Most times Ferrari engine has had more fire issues than any other engine in the last 10 years. We are hoping for Mercedes to bring a better car because they look like the only team that can compete with the Red Bull this season. McLaren is up for the game, but they are not really looking like they are in the competition because they are still far off the pace. We have about 10 races to go. They need to get their asses up and let's see what they can do. We're going to Red Bull straight. So the Red Bull upgrade. The Red Bull told us that the upgrade they are bringing will make them 2/10 faster. I said it. Oh, the upgrade they brought has given them more than 2 tenths, except they are lying. Red Bull has a culture of manipulation, so they can tell you if any team or anybody in Red Bull tells you good morning, bro, go outside, go and look at it. Are you sure it is morning? Because they are confusing. But that being said, because people will start coming out to say, hey, I don't like Red Bull. No, truth be said, Red Bull have their own dynamics in the way they manipulate things, but that is for them. Now, the upgrade they brought really gave them close to 4 tenths, so it has taken them ahead, though some teams are closing in, but it has taken them like 4 tenths ahead again, in which when we come back from the season break, that is from the summer break, we should see if other teams have learned a little from their data and are able to push closer to Red Bull, but which we know the Red Bull too would have learned some things from their upgrade to take them some few tenths away again. So it's all about playing catch up to Red Bull all through the season, but there are possibilities that other teams could win races that is closer to the end of the season. But the drivers championship cannot be taken away from Max Verstappen. He's winning it already. The constructors championship cannot be taken away from Red Bull because they are in the driver's position. They are leading, they are winning, and they are going to win all. Now to their engine. They've given a beautiful performance with that chassis, but their sister team had given a woeful performance with their own chassis. And if you look close at the chassis of RB18 and the Alpha Tauri, you will see that they look closely alike. So why is that car slow? Possibly, I think, I'm not saying that is it. I think that car is slow because of the flaws. They are not releasing all their secret to their sister team. Also, that engine in that car, I'm not sure it's a Red Bull powertrain engine, because if the Red Bull powertrain engine is giving such humongous amount of brake horsepower, that car should be on the par with the likes of Alfa Romeo, which is the weakest team and is even ahead of them, and possibly Williams. But no, Alpha Tauri is like the only Formula 3 car on that grid. We know other teams from Mercedes downward are the Formula 2 cars, including Sergio Perez's car. Max Verstappen is the only Formula 1 car in F1 present. That is what is being said, and that is what we are confirming for you, because that is how it seems. Because like I said in my last video, if that car starts from 50th on the grid, it will end up becoming number 1 on the grid at the end of a race. Even if it's a 20-lap race, it will win the race. It is going to win the race. So what is wrong with their powertrain to their sister team and also to Max Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez? I think Red Bull needs to look into that, because it's becoming more obvious. Everybody is really looking at it and knowing that Red Bull is playing a game out there with Perez and their sister team. Maybe they are using their sister team to learn. They are using them to learn values. So Red Bull, deal with that. I've always said that in all my videos. They need to deal with that. Moving straight to Mercedes cars from 2020. There has been debate that Mercedes had been dominant from 2019. The Red Bull had become a very, very strong car. They've given Mercedes a run for their money, but Mercedes had won the Constructors Championship and the Drivers Championship in those years because they've been perfect. And the reason why Mercedes had been winning since 2014 is they make less mistakes. The pundits will not tell you the truth. They will make it look like coloring, because yes, F1 has its issues. They've not really cleared their brain of racism. They are still thinking of, oh, how can a black guy be winning? No, we need to get to the point of that. I think we really need to get to it. F1 needs to tell us where they sit, not how they sit and what they think is seated. F1 is a great sport. A lot of people love F1. A lot of blacks love F1. But F1 needs to set their priorities right. It's a worldwide sport. Races has been hosted in South Africa and also in Morocco. And very soon, by God's grace, it will be hosted in West Africa, Nigeria, which is the most populous black nation on earth. Most of the slaves that worked on your farm came from Nigeria. Some from Ghana, some from Mali, Niger, Cape Verde, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Togo, Benin. So we need to be truthful to ourselves. And who told you the whites started making cars? You should look at it. Cars, which modernized into cars, started in Egypt. A lot of those technologies came from Egypt. And where is Egypt? Africa. Hey, think Egypt is in Africa. So medicine comes from Africa. We Africans need to get ourselves together and really push for something more sustainable to put ourselves on the map. Now, back to those cars. Mercedes, they've been dominant because they've been strategic. They have a good structure and they make less mistakes. In 2019, Red Bull made a lot of mistakes. Ferrari made a whole lot of mistakes. The Ferraris are filled with mistakes naturally. They love making mistakes. But Red Bull, that year, they made a whole bunch of mistakes. In 2020, because of the coronavirus, maybe the coronavirus entered their head. They made a whole lot of mistakes. Mercedes was not that faster than the Red Bull in 2019 and in 2020. I think in 2019, 2020, they were on the same par. but Mercedes made less mistakes. In 2021, the Red Bull car was faster than the Mercedes. Yes, check all the races, check their timeline, check their graph. You would know that the Red Bull was faster than the Mercedes. The issue Red Bull was having is they kept on making mistakes and their engine keeps going kaboom. They keep having engine issues, transmission issues, especially when they took in as Red Bull powertrain from Honda. Remember, Honda will be coming back into the sport in 2026 with Aston Martin. That was their problem. And the 2020 Mercedes was even faster than the 2021 Mercedes. But Mercedes were able to struggle to win the championship. But they were unable to deliver the Drivers' Championship to Lewis Hamilton based on human error. So we heard. Error. For those of you that still believe it is human error, well, it is human error. That is what we were told. But here we are. The W13 was the worst car ever made by Mercedes. The 2023 car from Monaco had been a little bit faster, but from Bahrain, it was worse than the 2022 car. The only difference was that car was not bouncy. The 2023 was not bouncy. That's the only difference. Aside from that, that car was so slow. I believe a tortoise is faster than that car on a straight line. Mercedes started losing their engineers to Red Bull, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, and McLaren, and they started building a very wobbly car. But now they are getting themselves back, and I think from what they've learned, they should be able to bring a very good car next year, even if it is not a championship worthy car. If they can still keep this threshold of structure and less mistakes from the team, it will be a battle for Red Bull next year with the Mercedes. Like I said, the only reason why Mercedes have been consistent is because they've been well structured. They make less mistakes. So for those of you that don't understand that, go and watch all those races on F1 TV or on YouTube. You would understand what I'm saying. Now, quickly moving to the last thing I'm going to be talking about. I hope this won't take me much time, but I'll be talking about F1 saying their market in US has grown because Max Verstappen has been winning. That is racist. 100%. That is racist. F1 in US has been growing, and we know the Austin race has been on the calendar for a long time. The Miami race got on the calendar. Now the Las Vegas race is coming on the calendar. Max Verstappen is not the author of those races. A lot of people have been trying to bring those races up. He's not the author of those races. And I think Liberty Media should apologize for saying that. They should come out and apologize. But I know they won't, because they are proud. They won't. But the truth still remains, and which I would say, Liberty Media have been able to bring Canadian and American drivers, an American brand, into F1. As team is owned by an American. Logan Sargent is an American. Nicolas Latifi was a Canadian. Lance Stroll is a Canadian. Lawrence Stroll, his father, is a Canadian. So Aston Martin is a Canadian brand. Though it's a British car, but it's a Canadian brand because the owner is a Canadian. So look at that. You bring people from a state, because the Asian market was like nowhere. Asians, that is Singapore, Chinese, they keep hosting the races, and they don't have any driver in F1 except for F2 and F3. But now they've been able to integrate their own people from Japan, from China, from Thailand into F1. Why not say F1 is growing in those places? Because they've been able to integrate a team like Toyota in the past, Honda in the past, Honda Powertrain recently, Toyota Powertrain in the past. Why not say that? Max Verstappen is a fantastic champion, but all these talks are not helping him. It cast everybody's mind back to 2021, which means F1 knows what happened in 2021. It was not human error. It is a deliberate error by F1 and Red Bull to make sure Max Verstappen wins the championship, which is evil, which is unsportsmanlike. It might take time, but the truth will come out one day. We love F1. We want to see African drivers. We want to see races in Africa, but this is not a way to go, F1. We have our own issues, we have our own situations in Africa, but now we are seeing how you guys lead the world with lies, how you guys lead the world with false hypnotics. Miami race, last year, this year, Austin race, over the time, we see a lot of black celebrities coming in there, a lot of basketball players, rugby players, musicians coming in there to support their own, to support the white drivers, the black drivers, the only black driver, and a lot of white drivers on the grid. None of them come because they are black and they're like, oh, I'm supporting Lewis Hamilton alone. I'm supporting Lewis Hamilton. Some come to support Lando Norris. Some come to support Max Verstappen. Terry Crews was in Miami this year to support Max Verstappen. Hey, he was in Hungary also to support Max Verstappen. Hey, get it into your head, man. Just get this shit into your head. So, if races are being loved in US, it's because these drivers are giving their best to make sure the market is good for you. Because if the market is not good for Liberty Media, the promotions won't work. That is why you guys are having different collaborations. But if the American market is there because of Max Verstappen, then the 2021 championship is fraudulent. 100% it is fraudulent. It was a championship that was given to him because Liberty Media, which is an American media house and also an American company, wanted Max Verstappen to win to get more sponsors from America. That is not blackmail. That is the truth. We have our own issues in Africa. We have a lot of things that our leaders need to do because most of them are so despotic. They only think about themselves, their family alone. Check out what sports do for other countries. When was the last time a West African country hosts a sport? When was the last time a West African country has a very good placeable or playable sporting arena to host any big sport? South Africa has it. They host a lot of sports. They are hosting netball recently, which should finish on the 20th of August. A lot of sports. A lot. But West Africa, we are so behind because our leaders are evil. They only think about themselves alone. Wow, damn. Jeez. We need to get into ourselves to boost our economy, to get ourselves back on the track where we need to get ourselves to. We need to bring activities that will bring resources, that will bring money, that will bring investment, that will bring growth and development so that we'll be able to sell activities, food, things, our pride, our resources in a better way to make more money. We don't have any oil refinery working at present in Nigeria. That is bad. So all our oil will be taken from here to go and refine. It is only in Africa that we see us having minerals and we don't have tools to turn those minerals, those golden natural resources God has blessed us with, into value that we can sell to the world. Rather, those beautiful minerals are taken abroad where they don't have any and they are being turned around and sold back to us. Christ, what sort of human beings are we? What sort of leaders do we have? What sort of ideas do we run on? Some people took us as slaves and they will come back to tell us that, oh, we are owing them money. Owing you money for taking us slaves. I don't get it. Oh God. I think the ideas, the narrative needs to change. It starts from us. It starts from our thinking. It starts from the way we do things. It is only in West Africa that you see a black man oppressing a black man, manipulating the system to oppress a black man, using their money, not the value, because most of them don't have values, using their money to oppress their brothers. That's how bad it looks. And that's how bad it is, really. So we need to get ourselves into a position in which we know that we need value for things, the truth be said, and where our own mind needs to be. We need to get ourselves right. We need to push ourselves into positions in which we can win. We can bring value to our economy, values to ourselves, develop ourselves. We have a lot of talents, creatives, engineers, young, talented people in West Africa. If our education system in West Africa is not that worse, we should be ranked among the top 5 in the world in IQ. Right. Yeah, right. But with the education system that is worse, we are still getting it right. We go out there, we become champions. We were sold somebody else's value. So we don't know our own value. We don't know what we worth. We don't know where we really stand. And we get confused. So we need to put ourselves right back into the space to start winning, to start challenging. Bringing F1 to West Africa is not because we want to show, because we want to put ourselves back on the map. You're coming to see our minerals and you are also coming to buy our minerals produced, or you bring whatever you will use, the tools you use down here to produce it, not take it there and sell it back to us. We should think far better than that. We are better than that. We are better than being used. We have a lot of talented drivers, a lot of talented people, and I'm sure that if we work it out, we'll be able to get ourselves right back on the map in the next 3 to 5 years and change the world. Not rule the world, change the world. It is a day-to-day thing. In America, the blacks are now getting themselves. They are changing their world. They are changing the narratives. There's still a lot to do, but they should remember they are not black Americans. They are blacks. They call them people of color, but we are people of value, people of image, people of greatness. I leave you with that. Like I said, another video will be coming, and we are moving closer to Netherlands, to Holland, for the race in Holland. I love you so much. Keep streaming, keep watching, keep subscribing. My name still remains Oshifes Oluwadamilare. I'm a mechanic. Love you. Chee.
Gibor gives you power. Gibor gives you control. Gibor gives you benefits. Are you an individual or business that uses fuel or gas? Use Gibor to find the best prices across all retail outlets in your city. For users and businesses that buy volumes, Gibor gives you access to credit. Gibor also gives you the ability to track your costs and monitor expenses per car or fleet. Need to improve your costs, enjoy incentives, or track expense? Gibor is the answer. Enjoy 5% discount on your first 5 purchases when you get your next fuel voucher from Gibor. Log on to www.gibor.com www.gibor.co to enjoy this. Retail outlets wanted nationwide.
We have a new friend in the house. We are in Nigeria here, West Africa. He provides internet for us. They provide the best internet around the mainland, and I know they are still moving to the highland and they are moving all around Nigeria. But for you to get internet on the mainland, contact Fibrad Telecom Limited. They get you sorted out ASAP. The best cable internet on the mainland, fiber, I think they get sorted out. We talk much about them in the course of some of our videos, but contact them, they get sorted out. If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. Contact Rated Art. His number is right up here, and you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here to check out some of his works. Thank you. Teams Gadget is for those of you that cannot easily go to the market to get your phones, your laptops, your accessories. Just place a call through. His phone number is there. It gets you the best. It's your shop plug to get you the best phones, accessories, laptops, games, and other accessories for your computer gaming experience. Contact Teams Gadget and you get them for you.